Packing the van and leaving for 2 o'clock, we got the ferry from Dublin to Holyhead and drove across the north of England to get over to Hull and then on to Tunstall to the San Lamer Carmen side where the EOBC event was going to be held from. So after a quick sleep after all of that, we then end up doing one of the most important things to do when you end up coming over, and it's a bit of scouting. So as you can see, the cliffs here are completely made of mud, and this is the same for about 40 miles of the coast. So you end up having to go to every mark that you know, checking the access because every year it changes, and just go up and down the coast as much time as you need and find out, can you get to the marks you want to get to. So after finding where we wanted to fish, it was then on to the Flatty Bash the next morning. We were there at 5:30 as it's a first come first serve basis, and there's only 300 tickets left. Flatty Bash works basically off of the total length of all fish caught. There's no minimum size, but the main targets here are going to be dab and flounder.
Here now in Hornsey, just after getting zone A in the Flatty Bash, and I spin this around, and we're just after setting up here in between the groins. So I don't know if you can even see me. So we're after setting up in here between the groins. This competition is only flatfish, just a major comp. So what we're going to end up doing is fishing for 4 hours. Comp starts at 10 and goes to 2, and it's only flatfish. So we're here close enough to Hornsey town. We fished last year further up, but I think either this section or the next section down is where the comp was actually won. So we got a bit early. We're in the line since 5:30 this morning, 6 o'clock. Tickets are on sale at 7, so you have to be there before the ticket or before doors just to get a good spot on the beach. So we're going to fish here now from 10 to 2. I'm going to use 3 clip downs. Some lads say you get the dab in close, some lads say fair. So I'm just going to use the clip down that I can chuck it out a small bit, or I can launch it for the horizon. Using mainly black wraps are going to be the big thing here. It's pretty windy there hitting that, so I'm moving in a small bit. But black wraps are going to be the big thing here today because we're mainly fishing for dab. But we have some maddies as well, and I have mackerel just to tip off baits with as well. So we're going to see how we get on. Left of me is Pavel and Martin, and then to the right of me is Brendan and Kevin. Let's spin up there so you can see them. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a short comp. Just as I said, it's a nice warm up, so everyone gets a few fish, and then back, prize giving, 1 or 2 little drinks, and then into bed because the real competition starts tomorrow, and it's going to be really early. But yeah, we're going to take you along for the competition and see how it all runs. Hope you can hear me right now. It's absolutely freezing. Weather's definitely changed. It's really windy. It's probably hitting 40, 60 km/h gusts at the moment. I've had 1 rockling, but unfortunately this competition doesn't actually count, so I just unhooked it and threw it back straight away. None of us have got any fish. There's nothing that scores points after being caught. There's been a dab caught down here. A few whitening cod and rockling have been caught up and down, but again, they don't count as anything. I had a rockling there a minute ago. I'm actually seeing a whiting and a rockling just got caught there. But I had a rockling a few minutes ago. It doesn't count, so I just unhooked it and threw it back straight away. In close doesn't seem to be working, so I'm hitting distance. Well, sorry, in close hasn't got me anything. The first cast for out distance got a rockling. But it's hard to tell right now. We're only an hour in. It's 11 o'clock now. So we're going to keep casting and going to stick with the black wraps, I think. I'm not too confident on the maddies and the conditions that are here at the moment, especially just trying to horse them out as far as I can. I don't think they'll survive. But it's just the way it is. So we'll keep going, but it's getting cold. So I'm heading down here now, change baits. Fishing's absolutely miserable. They're expecting 2, maybe 3 fish are going to win this, whereas last year it was in the 20s. Conditions are just absolutely disgusting. There's an hour left, nothing's happened. I've had about 8 rockling, maybe 6 rockling. Everyone seems to be just getting fish that I know I'm caught, Kevin. You're caught, your top hook's caught mine there. So it's absolutely miserable. Most people have actually packed up at this stage. We've an hour, well, we've 45 minutes left, but most people packed up about an hour and a half before the end. Conditions are crap. There's no fish being caught. Chatting to Stuart a while ago, he said that there's no fish being caught this way. There was a few caught this way, but they're assuming 2 or 3 fish are going to win this, which is appalling. Last year it was 20 odd. But look, we'll give it one cast more and that's it then. So we're going to finish up there now. Haven't got anything, everyone's packed up, so we're just going to pack up, head back to the van and go for a bite to eat, and then we'll pick it back up in the morning at 3 o'clock on the beach, and hopefully get some fish when the actual match starts then. So 3 minutes to go there now. That's very annoying, but 3 minutes to go, actually 2 minutes, about to kick off day 1 of the EOBC. We're down here at the pipe and we're going to give it a go. Water looks absolutely amazing. It's like proper chocolate brown, bit of a surf but nothing too crazy. Winds are about 30 kilometers an hour, but there is rain due in a while, and it's not going to be fun. But give it a go. First cast I'm going out with is a full crab weight lug. Hopefully that can be seen. A full crab lug on a up and over, using 3/0 bottom hook with a 4/0 top circle on it. Going to stick with them for a while. We were told first 3 hours are going to be the best, so we'll fish hard for a cod for the first 3 hours. There is a chance of a ray here, they said as well, but cod is going to be a target. For the EOBC you need 40 centimetre for a minimum cod to count, so whatever cod it is going to be nice. So we're just about to go now, so I'm just going to zoom in and get my first cast out here now. Keep me ratchet set. Happy days. Let's get the next rig ready. I have ratchet set just in case to get a big cod. So first cast just done there now. Seems like there's a lot of weed enclosed. Some people have been snapped off literally 30 yards out. So just keep rod tips high. Keep baits out far. This bait was out for 20 minutes and you can see still pretty perfect. The lug has been destroyed all right, but not that badly. So I'm just going to cut off all the crab, do the same thing again. I'm still hoping that the big bait's going to be the job. One of the lads was saying there that further down there was a whiting taken out. Now, was it the size? I don't know, but judging by my lug, there probably is a bit of whiting floating around. But a decent whiting could get you into prizes too. That's very annoying, I apologise. So I'm just going to rebait again, just put on crab and lug. So, just ended up there with this whiting. Unfortunately, I just haven't been in the bucket there recovering, but so whiting to count is 35 and this one's only 33, so I was nearly there, but unfortunately didn't get it. Brendan just had a cod as well, a 44. So we're delighted. So one of us at least has a fish to weigh in, but I got him on mackerel and lug. I'm just going to drop him back there now. Wind's picking up, weather's picking up. It's great crack right now. So we're halfway through day 2 now at the moment, and it's quite difficult. Brendan has a cod of 44 centimetres, limits 40, so he's well in with something hopefully. We'll find out later on tonight. I have a whiting of 33, but unfortunately the limit's 35. So I just missed out on that one. There's 1 or 2 fish being picked up, but there doesn't seem like there's a lot of fish to size. We've seen a few whiting down the beach, but a lot of them you can see are getting thrown back, so it is quite tough. Tide now, I hope you can hear me with the wind because it is quite windy. Tide now is after dropping off about halfway, so a lot of the locals are expecting no fish now till the bottom of the tide. So I've swapped over to a loop rig, 2-hook loop rig, using 2/0 hooks, and I've just casted out crab and lug. And about 10 minutes time I'm going to swap to targeting whiting. I'm going to use loop rig with mackerel. So it's tough conditions. Weather though is in our favour. It was meant to be a lot worse than what it is, so we're happy enough with that, considering yesterday was to be a lot better and it turned out to be a lot worse. But we're looking at tomorrow's weather, and even though we haven't got there yet, we're kind of excited about it. It looks amazing. Westerlies, 9 kilometers an hour winds. It's going to be hopefully a good day tomorrow, but only time will tell really. But it's now 12:15. We have until 3 o'clock. So let's see what happens. That's the end of that now. Just chatted to a guy there, walked by. He had 57 cod, so he's done all right. It's really shallowed out. We're not getting anything. We haven't seen anything being got. Most of the beach is cleared out, so we're going to do the same. Finish up now and head back for a bit of food and see if we get anything. Well, see if Brendan gets anything in the awards. So see you back there. So we're down here now on a spot called East Newton, I believe is the name of the beach. We scoped this mark out on Thursday, and we were actually going to fish it yesterday, but with the conditions we decided that it would be best once the weather dropped off a small bit. So the beach itself is quite steep at high tide and then flattens off into a big flat sandy beach. So it's about 2-3 meters deep right on the lip, or right on the bottom of the shelf, or the bottom of the slope here. So my target is aimed for that during the competition for the first 2 hours, and then once that drops down a bit, I'll be pegging stuff out, trying to get a ray. Had to walk this way. The beach is quite flat, so we'll get cut off. The tide will come all the way up to the cliffs there. So we're going to get comfortable here now, because we've got 2 or 3 hours before the competition starts, and let's get some stuff sorted. Just about to kick off there now. It's just coming up to 8:50, and we'll be starting now in the next 10 minutes. So you can see here, tides come in nicely. There's a nice surf rolling in currently, and this deep hole, so it's probably around 6-7 feet deep. We're just out in front of us. So we're going to fish that in close. I'm going to try and hit the ledge. I've pasted out, as I said earlier on. Everyone's casting out. I'm a bit late getting my rig set up, but let's go. First cast, I'm putting out lug top hook, I'm putting out crab top hook, and I'm putting lug out on the bottom hook. I'm literally just lobbing it 30 yards out. I just want to hit the bottom of a bit of a bank that's in front of me. I'm not even going to clip this up. I'm just going to lob it out. Leave it there. Get an extra going now. So the rigs I'm using are just simple clipped, or they're a loop rig. So I'm using 2.0 top hook, and I'm using 15-pound amnesia, and it's probably, the rig itself is only 3 foot, but my snoods are, top one's about 1.5 foot, and the bottom one is probably close to 3 feet as well. And just using these little Inova bait stops, or well, they're beads, but I'm using them as a bait stop. And all I'm doing is just threading up 1 or 2 lug on the bottom hook. So in this case, I'm just doing 1. Then from my top hook, I'm just using half a crab, as we are targeting cod. So I'm literally just looping on half a crab, just bait binding that on. Once the tide drops back a bit, this beach slightly shallows out. So I'll move over then onto mackerel and try for a ray at range. So we're fishing now from 9 till 3 again today, and hopefully we get something that we can get to the weigh-in, or a few of us at least can get to the weigh-in. That's it now. Let's keep fishing. Let's hopefully get some fish on camera today. Something a bit different for myself there now. Never had one of these before, but I'm just after getting a little haddock. He's 32 centimeters, so unfortunately doesn't count, but not a fish I've had before. Pretty cool looking fish, big massive eye on him, as you can see. But happy to get him, but again back there now, try hopefully get a bigger fish. But he was taking on fresh lug, so we'll throw him back. So it's been slack enough now up and down the coast from as far as I can see. No other fish got really in the last hour, I would say. Maybe one further up, but I don't know if they were releasing it or measuring it to be signed off. But it's been slack. I've been trying for cod for a while, and then kind of gave up with that and tried for ray for a long time, but the mackerel was not being touched. I was surprised not even whiting were touching it. But there's not much I can do. I've put on blacks there now and put them out as far as I can get them to see maybe if a whiting takes them. Maybe a haddock again, but it's getting late now. It's starting to shallow up a bit. But we'll keep plugging on. Baits are starting to get smaller just to see if there's something else out there, but I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know whether to put on stuff that's smelly because of the colour of the water or put on fresh stuff. But look, we're getting another bait out anyway and can't try again. So fishing is absolutely slowed down now. There's nothing really happening. I had a small whiting, but it's not the size, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do now is just target ray, or try target ray. So I've just made up this bait here now. So just pennel up and over with a mackerel. I'm going to cast that out next cast. Hopefully there'll be a few ray floating around because the tide has actually dropped. The tide has dropped back fair enough that I'm able to hit the next sandbank out. So it might be able to. So if I can zoom in, you can see there now the waves are breaking pretty close in. So that to me tells me there's a big sandbank there. So what I'm going to do is start wading out, if I can get the focus. So I'm going to start wading out and casting over that and hopefully get a ray. So I'm going to finish this up there now. It's not long before the end of the actual comp. So we're going to pack away, going to get the camera away, get back, have some food, and then we're going to see the award ceremony and see how people got on, because we're hoping Brendan might have gotten something with his cod from yesterday. He might have won second international if no one else has. As we know, Troy is after getting a cod bigger than his, so unfortunately got Brendan out of the running for first international. But we're going to see. About one cast left, but it's probably just going to start packing up now, get stuff sorted so we can head off the beach there pretty soon. But let's see how the prizes get on. So we're all finished up now, back in Ireland. I'm cleaning some gear now currently, just cleaned up some reels and some rods and just tidying away some of the stuff that I've got lazy and just chucked into the bottom of the seat box. But congratulations to Brendan. Brendan did very well with his 44 centimetre cod. It gave him second place on the internationals. Troy unfortunately just pipped him, but congratulations to Troy as well. He got a slightly bigger cod of 50 odd. And then congratulations to Pippin, who ended up winning the competition overall again this year with lovely, I think it was like a 4.5 or 5 kilo ray, I can't remember. It was around £10 anyway. So he did unbelievable. So what we learned this year was that the conditions were not what we expected. So looking at the weather going over, the weather kept changing constantly, so we couldn't really decide on what to do. We ended up fishing 2 marks. We fished the pipe, or the ship pipe, I don't know what one it's actually called, but it's down next to a sewage treatment plant. So we ended up fishing there on day 1 of the camp on the Saturday, and then day 2 we fished that spot, East Newton, that you see. So we learned in the end, you kind of get chatting to guys, but we learned in the end that a East Newton spot is a bit of a summertime spot. The local guys said it's not incredibly productive in the winter, and that looks quite evident from, as you can see, there was very little fish caught in it. A few whiting, but a lot of them were undersized. I don't think anyone weighed in that day. But we learned a lot from it this year. Every year we go over, we seem to end up learning a lot. So it's the great thing about it, because you end up going back to the prize giving, everyone has a few pints in them, everyone's a bit looser, and you end up chatting fishing, and you end up chatting marks, and you end up making friends. So I would highly recommend people go over and do it. It really isn't crazy expensive. You don't need crazy gear for it. Like 2 rods, 2 reels will do it, and you're using nothing mental. You're using 2 or 3 hook rigs and keeping it kind of 2-0s, 1-0s, just because you're targeting everything from cod to whiting. And if you decide to do the Flatty Bash, then you're using obviously something smaller. But it's a great competition. It's well worth doing, and can't wait for it next year now. But I'm going to end the video there. We ended up heading home. It took us 14-15 hours to get home, but it's good fun. Can't wait for it next year.